Welcome, I am King Stephen Sadish. You can call me as Kings. Today we will learn about the .NET program executions. And before we are going into the .NET program executions, we will know about how the pre-.NET applications run. And before our .NET application came into existence, the pre-.NET application is run in this way. The VB6 languages or any other C languages is compiled this way. In our VB6 languages is the non-.NET applications which is compiled in the VB6 compiler. Whenever in our VB6 source code is compiled, this VB6 compiler it will produce the assemblies with the extensions of the TLL or EXEs. This is nothing but it is the native code. This native code is contains the zeros and ones, which is understood by the computers, which means these operating systems. Why it is converted into these zeros and ones? Because in our computers it does not know the source code. In our source code it's only understand, it only read in the zeros and ones. But the programmers it is practically impossible to write in the zeros and ones program. So in our source code is compiled into these zeros and programs with the use of the VB6 compiler, with the use of this any other compiler. The compilers does the job is the source code to native code. This native code is support in this operating system only, which means we are developing in the VB6 application in the Windows operating system means the VB6 compiler is compiled and produce the native code with the operating system, with the Windows operating system. It will not support the any other operating system. We are creating VB6 operating system in the Windows operating system means it only supported in the Windows operating system. It will not support any other operating systems like Unix or Linux. But in our C# applications, in our .NET applications, and in our .NET applications is not like that. In our .NET applications can support the several languages, C#, C++, VB and JSON and any other languages which is also supported in the .NET applications. We are developing the .NET applications with the use of these languages. These languages is compiled with the use of this regarding their compiler. C# language is compiled in the C# compiler, VB languages is compiled in the VB compiler, and the C++ is also compiled in the C++ compiler, and JSON is also like this. And whenever we are compiled in our applications, which will produce the assemblies with the extensions of TLL and EXEs. And here is the assemblies does not have a intermediate languages. But in pre.NET applications, in assembly have a native code, which means zeros and ones. But this assemblies is not have a native code. It makes sense. It will produce the intermediate languages, and these intermediate languages going into the CLR. This part is called the CLR. CLR is the common language runtime. And whenever the .NET framework is installed in our system means the CLR is automatically get installed. The CLR is take the intermediate languages, and these intermediate languages is take input to the JIT compiler. The JIT compiler is converted the intermediate language to native code. This native code is native to that operating systems. Which is clear because we are developing the Windows applications. We are developing the Windows operating system and applications, and in our C# applications compiled which will produce the DLL, and which will produce the DLL, which is produce the intermediate languages. As these intermediate languages, this is Windows operating system development. This Windows operating development intermediate languages is take in the another operating system, means Unix. Unix operating system. In Unix operating systems, the computers have the .NET framework means which will also have the CLR compiler also. CLR also. This CLR it take into the intermediate languages, and it will convert to the native code to that operating system. Hence, meaning is clear. This is Windows operating system development of the application intermediate languages. These intermediate languages it take in the CLR, and this CLR is native to that unique operating system. So it is the portable. So it is support portables, and the CLR is also provide the several features. Example, the garbage collections. The garbage collections is nothing but, and let us examples. We have a customer class. We are creating the customer class object means, and customer class name and object equal to new customer class, and we are allocating the memory to that object, and in pre.NET applications, and we were responsible to create that object. But in .NET applications, we don't worry about that. The CLR do that job. It's whenever the object is not in use, the CLR is clear that memory allocations automatically. So don't worry about that. So the VB6 compiler, so the pre.NET applications is provide the native code. So it is not support operating portables. It only support regarding to that operating systems, and whereas in .NET applications will not produce the native code, while compilations it will produce the intermediate languages, and the intermediate languages is converted to the native code with the use of the CLR. CLR is nothing but is the common language runtime, and whenever we are installed in the .NET framework, the CLR is get automatically installs. You note that. And points to remember, IL is also called the IL means intermediate languages is also called the MSIL or CIL and managed code. And assemblies have an extensions of TLL or EXE depending on the type of the applications. Better we will look in the practical manner. And here I have a simple applications, the C# applications. I build these C# applications means which will produce the assemblies. I am going to the open file folder in Windows Explorer and the pin folder and tbag, and we have seen a .exe. This is nothing but this is assembly. This is one type of assembly .exe. And where is the .tll? This is another type of applications, class library. When I build these applications, it will produce this .tll. Let me check. Bin, and this is the .tll, which means it is also the assemblies. Assemblies contains the .tll or .exe its extensions. Okay, and going to the side, the next point is .NET assemblies contain the intermediate languages. In pre.NET assembly contain the native code or machine code, whereas the .NET assemblies contains only the intermediate languages, not machine code or native code. This native code and machine code is only in the CLR to the job to understanding regarding their operating system. The .NET application execution consists of two steps. These compilations, first step is the compilations make the source code to IL. The source code means our C# applications or JSON or any other applications source code to intermediate languages, and these intermediate languages is also called the managed code. And execution or cheat compilations. in the IL2 platform specific native code, which means in our intermediate languages is take into the CLR, and the CLR CLR it compile the native code with the use of the JIT compiler, and produce the native code. Native code means the zeros and ones, and it will know that regarding their operating system. It will understand by that operating system. And the CLR is nothing but .NET runtime environment. It's provide several benefits, code-based collections, which were told already. And .NET support different programming languages like C++ or C VB. And this only generated the managed code, that C++ can generate both managed code and unmanaged code. Let make sense. Why this CSOF and VB and JSOF are compiled, this produced only the intermediate language, but whereas the CSOF compiled, it produced intermediate language and also the native code. Why is that this flexibility to this C++? Because before the pre-.NET application developed by the C++ languages. So here .NET applications provide backward compatibility to this C++. That's all. Thanks for watching. I will appreciate your comments. We will see in the next part. Bye. Take care.